Morning, everybody. Happy Thursday, September 2nd, 2021. I'm just saying that so that I can actually, recognize that it's already September of 2021. Um, so basically we've gone through summer again, another summer. Anyway, so today, I think I wanted to do a couple. The, I mean, the main focus today was I thought it would be, I don't know, important to, let's say that, like important, so that if people were, wanting to do content in Neverwinter going forward, that it would be valuable. They learned how to actually some of the tools that there are in Neverwinter to make content. And one of the things, like, and specifically demo tool, and there's lots of reasons why, like the demo tool can be helpful, not just from content creator, like producing videos or trailers, whatever for your stream. But I think it would also be extremely valuable for um, if you actually, for example, want to, if you're just a player and you want to teach people on like how to do like a dungeon. The demo tool would be an extremely valuable for you to teach the mechanic of the dungeon, both from a positive and a negative side, or you want to evaluate your dungeon runner if you want to improve on your dungeon run. And also it's a great way to save areas of content that are no longer available. So if you still want to actually produce things, which is what we're going to do today, actually, produce things well after the fact that they're no longer a part of the game. So one of the things we're going to do today, I figured, so we're going to work, believe it or not, we're going to work on Pirate Skyhold. So you know that with the coming of mod 21, is it? I can't remember now. I can't remember the number. 21, I think. Mod 21, Pirate Skyhold was eliminated from the game. Now, that was a campaign zone and all of the instance dungeons that were located within the map. Hey, it's Tempest. We're going to go and we're going to work. We're going to do that demo. But what I figured is I have one of the things I want to add to that. But I know that Julie is a producer now. No, what does that mean? I've always wondered. Touche, what is a producer like in Cryptech, by the way? Congratulations to her, by the way. What does that mean as far as other stuff? I mean, she's worked really hard, obviously, to become a producer. Because I guess that's a step up from first community manager. Does that mean that she doesn't have to do streams anymore? They're kind of like project managers? Well, I mean, she was managing projects, right? Like, hey, Nova. Corporate means whatever you want at any point with no official responsibilities. Okay. Well, I mean, I think that's probably promotion for her. So, congratulations to her. On Twitter, yeah. So she probably released that. So it's congrats. Like, so obviously she thinks that that's a positive move forward in her career. So that's a promotion, right? So anyway, so what we're gonna do. So I'm just gonna lay out what we're doing today. So what we're gonna do is, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go in. I want to run the dungeon. like the dungeon that's still in the game. So if anyone wants to help me with that, you know, hop in. But I'm going to use that to show you how you actually record like said dungeon, right? Like in demo. And then we're going to go back in time. We're going to go into Pirate Skyhold and we're going to, you know, clip together like a zone flyby, right? So you can see how to do that. And then if we have time, we'll take some of the clips that we'll go through the dungeon, like a demo that we just created. And then what we'll do is we'll put together like maybe 2 or 3 little clips from the dungeon to input like into our flyover. Now we can decide, because I also filmed the mini dungeons that were in the campaign zone. So we can also decide if we want to use any of those, take 1 or 2 clips of those and put it in. And at the end, hopefully, we'll be able to clip all that together, put that all together into a finished, you know, Pirate Kings like zone, like memoir. Oh, this is what it says. I'm still on my producer training wheel, so expectations should be adjusted accordingly. I mean, I wouldn't say that necessarily means that she doesn't, yeah, she basically says that she's like dabbling in producer type stuff. And she's literally, I guess maybe that's a goal that she has for herself, potentially. All right, so we're hopping actually into the game. Oh, and the Twitter has nothing to do with Neverwinter? Oh, it's her personal Twitter, I guess, right? All right, so queue. I guess we got a queue. We got a queue for Pirate King Retreat. How long do you think this is going to take? I have no idea. I haven't been playing the game yet. All you people out there, maybe you can tell me, how long is this going to take for me to get in here? Like, as like a DPS. You don't think people queue for those unless they're leveling up? Really? Are they not in the random dungeon queue thingy? Are they not like they like, I mean, aren't they in this? Like, people do this for ad, don't they? Because they're all avoiding like doing Inferno Citadel and right? I don't know. You're gonna have to like, I'm so out of the loop on what's been going on this last month or something in this game. You're gonna have to like, so if that's the case, are you thinking I'm gonna have to soul it, or like do I have to invite some people? Seems to be some people on. Aren't a lot of people, aren't a lot of pops on public queue these days? Really? I mean, I could switch characters. Maybe that would help. Because I know DPS was a little bit iffy even before. I could switch to let me switch to a tank. Let's try this. Cute. There we go. Pop instantly. Oh, and it's a decline and an instant pop again. All right, so one of the things is when we get in this dungeon is what we want to do is we want to go to like our chat window, right? So our chat window is how we're going to start the recording of the tool, this demo. Now, when you first go in, like if it's a zone, for example, and you don't really care about catching any of the action or any ads that are actually in the zone, you basically can just like do the record command and then give it like 10 seconds and then hit the stop button. But in a dungeon, for example, so we're going to do it's /demo, sorry, /demo record, and then you pick a name. So in this case, we're going to do Pirate King Dungeon, just for the example. I think that. Wait, maybe I hit underscore. I forgot. That was it. So down. So /demo underscore record, and then space, and then the name. You're going to do Pirate King Dungeon. And then you can see on the top left of my screen now, it says demo recording. So that we know it is actually recording now, the information. Not just where I'm at, but where everything in this dungeon. And, you know, you can, it's not going to be like, it shouldn't be too lag inducing because like it's basically taking like snapshots of like the position of everybody in the thing, not recording necessarily any graphics percent, but basically the data point. I might have to switch to like damage tank, I guess, because what is there like a couple people not playing here? I don't know. I mean, at the moment, I'm just set up for like if I was going to do boss. And I don't have to worry too much about, so when we're recording here, we don't have to worry too much about actual, like where we are on the map, what the other guys are doing. We can actually, it's recording all that information. If we want to capture ourselves, you know, it might be advantageous, you know, to get involved in a fight, but technically you don't have to be in it doing any fighting. You could just, you know, everyone else could be doing the fighting. But I mean, you know, it's nice, like, if you're going to be the guy, right? Like, it's nice to get involved in the fighting, get some effects of yours going up. One of the reasons why this is also helpful as a tool, like, if you're not like a film guy, or you don't really care so much about that, but you want to be able to showcase, like how to do a dungeon or something along those lines. By recording it, like it is recording all the data, so you can see the positional places of everybody. You know, the red on the floor when the enemies come. You know, where they're that sort of stuff. If they've got combat advantage, all that stuff's being recorded in demo tool. You can basically like freeze frame stuff in demo tool, take snapshots, and say, you know, look here, see, this was where you were positioned. I need you not there. I need you here. You know, this was where your mistake was, or, you know, I mean, this is where we could improve because, you know, we, at this point, this is what should have happened, you know, all kinds of stuff. So if you're like if you really want, like, there's lots of ways in which to utilize. And again, if, you know, if you know, if you want to, like, if there are lots of people like in your alliance or whatever that want to be able to do content, and then, you know, you say to them, well, just go watch, like, you know, there's all these YouTube videos and stuff like this. They're not, like, a lot of the YouTube videos are not going to show you, like, you know, overhead shots, right? Like where you can basically take an overhead shot and show, yeah, see, this is proper positioning. This here, like improper positioning. This is, you know, blah, blah, blah. You can go through that and, you know, and then, you know, if you want to put that together for somebody to watch, I guess there's one for it now. Right? I'm okay with making a run for it. Like, I just ain't none of this stuff's hurting me.
Bro.
All right, I'm okay with making a run for it. Like, I just ain't none of this stuff's hurting me. All right, I'm okay with making a run for it. Like, I just ain't none of this stuff's hurting me. All right, I'm okay with making a run for it. Like, I just ain't none of this stuff's hurting me. All right, I'm okay with making a run for it. Like, I just ain't none of this stuff's hurting me. All right, I'm okay with making a run for it. Like, I just ain't none of this stuff's hurting me. All right, I'm okay with making a run for it. Like, I just ain't none of this stuff's hurting me. All right, I'm okay with making a run for it. Like, I just ain't none of this stuff's hurting me. All right, I'm okay with making a run for it. Like, I just ain't none of this stuff's hurting me. All right, I'm okay with making a run for it. Like, I just ain't none of this stuff's hurting me. All right, I'm okay with making a run for it. Like, I just ain't none of this stuff's hurting me. All All right, we're there. We got demo recordings. We're good. Now, one of the things you want to be careful in some of the dungeons, you actually, like when you go through a portal door or something, you actually switch instant. So like the map isn't there anyway. You're actually going into a different place. So you would actually have to stop the demo tool and then restart it. If you want to capture that. Now, you may not know that that's the case until you actually run a demo tool recording, and then find out that you're missing stuff. Right? Hey, cave dog. So now, so we've been demo recording this. Now that we want to stop it, we're gonna write in. We're gonna again go to our chat. We're gonna go demo recording _ stop. And you can see it's going to take a pause. It's going to pause here. It's like it's frozen, and then it goes away. Now, the longer the pause generally infers like how long, like or how big that particular file was. But I mean, it's not that big. Like even some of really long ones are not that big. Depending on the size, it can create in certain places like some lag. So I guess that's going to depend if you're running around like on a potato computer. I mean, it is lag pretty. But you can see that wasn't too terribly bad, like at least for what we were doing there. Now what we're going to do is we're going to jump in and we're going to do the Pirate Skyhold campaign zone. So basically, to be able to start up a demo like recording, you have to actually exit. I'm going to switch screens in a second here. So what you're going to need to do is you're going to start up like as if you're starting up the game again, right? So you're out of the game. You're going to start up the game like you would normally. And essentially, you're going to go up to options. Under the option. Okay. So, once you've actually recorded your thing, you can actually see the file here. So that file for that dungeon, I think it was right in front of me here. Dungeon? Where the hell are you? Where'd you go? I could have sworn it was right here. Oh, down maybe. There we go. So the one that we just did was PK Dungeon. I think, there it is right there. PK Dungeon. So it was a 139K, like 139K. Like that was the file, like for the whole demo. So you see, it's not huge, right? We're gonna go in and we're gonna do this one, Pirate Skyhold demo. You can only see it's 1.33. We're gonna start with that. If you can see here, we also have the Hollow instance. We also have the Retreat, and we also have Skull Fortress that were also from Pirate Skyhold. So we're gonna start off with PK, or I think that's right now, PS. So on this file here on the command line, we're gonna put in like, so it's like a hyphen now, hyphen demo space oh no, sorry, hyphen demo underscore play, and then it's going to be PS is the file we're going to be using, right? So PS, which is this one here, which should mean that we will have, like when we bring this up, when we hit save, we're going to log in to our game again, like log into the game again. And what's going to happen is when we hit play on the launcher, it's gonna, instead of loading the game, it's gonna load the demo file. So it's loading up. I'm gonna give you some tips and tricks here once you get in here, like just stuff that I've learned over time about a way to handle this. Because I mean, the one thing that we're going to be doing here is we're going to create like something, right? All right, so here we're going to hit stop. So this is like a pre-recorded one that I like. Say I already basically went in here. And we're going to go in and we're going to delete this because we're going to start this from the beginning. Oops, plus gone. So from this, so this is basically the entire zone. So I'll go over this as we add these things here, like on the thing. But one of the things that we want to do, like normally when it would come in here, is it would show like where you started, like recording, like when you come into the scene. It usually takes about 3 seconds for the scene to appear. You'll notice that when you start a demo, you sort of fade out of existence, like in live, and then you fade back in. It usually takes about 3 to 5 seconds for the instance to sort of coalesce itself, and then whatever you do, then you record. Now the interesting thing is, like I say, if you just want to record a zone, so you can do a fly through or something, you don't need to be in there any more than like 10 to 15 seconds, and then you can stop recording. You can keep the file relatively small, even though it captures the majority of the instant. But the idea is, if you let, like, this thing would continue to play and stuff would go on, even though you'd be standing there frozen, like when you stopped, like actually recording. Which is why if you want to film, you want to record like a dungeon, fights in a dungeon, slightly different. In this particular case, so we're going to hit, so one of the buttons to get the free roaming camera is F2. Sometimes it doesn't work right out the bat, so there we go. So we've got the free roaming camera now, so we can actually literally go anywhere we want now, like in Pirate Skyhold. And so what I wanted to do here is so what do you guys think would be the right way to film that? Like if we're going to do like a fly through, we want to do a fly through where we're starting at where the dungeon entrance was, or ending where the dungeon was. Because one of the things that you want to ask yourself, it depends on how you're going to use it, right? How you're going to use the tool is, if you're going to, like, for filming, you want to make do video or something. It's always important. One of the things is to include shots that people wouldn't otherwise see, like, or there would be things that people wouldn't otherwise see from a point of view that they wouldn't actually experience, like the zone or whatever the content you're doing, because then that piques their interest. It's like, wow, I've never seen that before, or I've never seen that from that angle. Whereas, like, if you want more of a tutorial, or you're trying to tell a story necessarily, you may have different ways of actually filming it. But so for our intents and purposes, what I think we're going to do here is, I think what I wanted to do is I'm going to start off with, let's see if we start somewhere, see what it looks like when we start over here from like one of these ships that's sort of like off in distance, maybe like as if we were like up here, right? Or what do you guys think? Like start over here, maybe? We can capture a couple of ships like in the air. Sort of go over towards like fly over towards like the lighthouse there, and then come back in and all that. So let's say if that's the decision I'm going to make. What I'm going to do then is I'm going to open up my camera path editor. right? And so you can see, and here, let me switch to a different screen here. So you can sort of see here on the left, camera path editor. There's lots of different things in here, like hide patch, catch camera, etc. Stuff. Graphics, you can remove graphics or characters from the world, change the sky, etc., etc., etc. So there's a lot of stuff for you to play around with. But I mean, you know, for our intents, for most of our purposes here, we're probably not going to play around with that. Are people in the game that, you know, really, you know, spend time doing different things to create different effects, and you can definitely do that. We're not going to bother with that today. I mean, that's shadows on, shadows off, right? Simple, sky on, sky off, lots of stuff. So, but what we want to do is we want to create a path. So we're going to add a path, and you have the option between like easy path, normal path, orbit, look around, watch shadow. The easiest one you should probably start with. If you want to experiment later, you can go right ahead, but easy path probably the easiest. You're going to click OK. Then I save right away. And I've got an easy path. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to run down here. We're going to be losing the bottom. You can see we're saying add point. Kind of a little bit off. At the bottom, under basic path, got add point. We're going to add our first point right here. You can sort of see here, this pink thing that sort of showed up on my screen, that's actually a camera with a lens showing you the direction of the lens and where, and so on. And you can see there's a red dot like off in the distance there. That's showing me where my camera lens is actually focused, right? So that shows me my camera path. You will see eventually like when we do, so we're going to go here and we're going to, for the first direction we're going to probably go over here. That's where we're going to move our camera to. Let's try going up high. I'm going to go up a little higher. We don't want to trail it through. We'll go here. We'll hit another add point. Now you can sort of see here, there's actually a blue path between the two cameras. And that is showing like the camera path. And so one of the things we don't want to happen on a camera path is we don't want it to actually cross over with like objects in like the environment. Because then you'll end up having some weird sort of cutting. Like I'm going to drag this second camera slot up here, and you can see when it goes through there, going through now the sail. And so you'd have like a weird sort of look. Now sometimes it's okay if you're going through trees enough, you can sort of do it within objects. But if it's a wall or a brick or something, it kind of doesn't look kind of bad. So you don't, so that you want to, so that's two things you want to look at. You want to look at where you're looking at, where your camera path is going, right? I think what I was deciding to do here, and you can see I can move the camera, even though I placed this camera here, I can move this. I am going to move this up a little higher because I've decided now that what I want to do is I want to float up over here. So I'm going to place my third point here. And I know that I'm going to want to come down again. So I'm going to go to the peak of this. And then I'm going to start facing down and I'm going to head at another point. And then we're going to come down here. And we're going to grab 3 points on that. So 1 point here. 1 point here. And then 1 point coming back over here. And then, I think, what is this up here? Is this the start of the dungeon or is this something else? It is the start of the dungeon. All right. So we're going to come back over here. We're almost like going around in a circle a little bit. Add another point here. And now I'm going to sort of speed through. So now we're actually seeing, like, we don't want to spend a lot of time. We kind of have an idea of what we want to capture that people won't have seen before. I don't know if we want to capture that, but whatever. We'll see. So add another point here. Coming over. Add another point. At a point. Maybe we want to take some, like, add some more in here where we're getting close a little bit. We'll just come over here and then we'll sort of sweep around here. Now you're going to think, well, why did I skip all those other buildings over there? Because everyone's seen those buildings before. But I mean, nobody's come in this direction this before, right? So we'll come in low again, and then we're going to come up high because we're going to want to go over, well, come up here. And then we'll come back low through this gate. And then we're going to cut off this stuff. Go right through here between this rock. Come down into this fort. I mean, this is one of the things that we're going to be showing here, obviously. If we're going to clip in that dungeon or that sort of instance dungeon, will come in here. Now, trees don't matter so much. We cut. We hit some trees. We'll come in here to here. Add another point. And then through here. And then soar up again. And one of the things you're going to notice, and we're going to go through this in a second, is how much like the time sort of stamping happens like on these points that we're adding, how they kind of get screwed up. And so one of the things I just learned, it's just you're going to have to just adjust them. So, and one of the things we want to do here, I think, is we're going to seesaw a little bit through these, like just move from side to side a little bit. Oops. And then we'll cut. That water looks crap. I don't think we want to save that. But, all right. I think maybe we'll just go up here. And we want to add like a little bit of the frenetic, like the frenetic nature of like actually going through like these paths, trying to create. So we'll add a little bit of like weaving in and out. And diving down. Actually, wait, did that work? Something fucked up there, yeah. Where are we here? Add point. There we go. Add point. 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 And then this should be the end. This is like the actual starting of the entrance to the zone. All right, we're done. So now the thing is, if you look here on, you can sort of see it. So if you look here on the left-hand side, there's all these times, like for all these. We put in 59 point camera. 59 cameras are actually in this. So one of the things that's a kind of a pain in the ass about these is that like they start off like reasonable. So 2 seconds, 6 seconds to 9 seconds, 12 to 29. Then all of a sudden, for whatever reason, this tool jumps it. So it's like 44, then 60, 86, then 108. And it keeps going up like the differences between gaps. And honestly, I mean, there is like a optimal between the two things, but you can see the total time right now of this demo, if I were to run this, is 2,435 seconds, which is crazy that you would, that would be the thing. I'm gonna hit save, by the way. But 2,435 seconds is way too long. And what it basically means is because what's happened is whatever reason, the way the tool is doing it, it's like exploding these things. So what we're going to do is, if you notice, it says 0 to 2. So there are two ways of doing it. And some of it can be managed like post-production. Like, so once we've done the demo tool and we want to go in and we want to slow certain sections, speed certain sections up, we can also watch, when we get this to a reasonable level, we can speed some things up or slow things down by by the time difference. Because I mean, one of the things it's calculating here is the gap between like my different camera placements combined with the amount of time that it estimates that it would take to smoothly travel between the two, so that it seems like it's a smooth path. Because we wanted a smooth path, right? Because we chose easy path, right? So I find that in most circumstances, there are two options that you're going to start with to change the differentiator, and then like to change the time. It's either 5 seconds or 10 seconds. Those two generally work to keep it to a fairly smooth pace, and without too much jerkiness, and at a relatively low cost as far as like time wise. So even though you can see here the first camera position is 2 seconds, I'm going to actually make it 4 seconds. But hang on a second, I gotta find out why that thing is 2. There we go. So it's 2 seconds. We're going to change it to 4, and then we're just going to go to the next one, and then instead, or no, we're going to make it 5. My bad. We're going to make everything 5 now. So this that's going to create a problem, right? Wow. Why don't we just do it 4s then? Is 4 going to work? 4, because we got to keep under. We'll do 4. Second one, then we'll do it as 8, and then we'll just go up by 4s all the time. So it's 12. 16, 20, and we're just going to keep going up. So 24, and I'm not going to say them out loud anymore. I'm going to try not to. How's that? I'm going to try not to say it too loud. So it's and hopefully there'll be music fitting in the thing. So you guys have any questions, can ask. I don't know how many of you are going to be. Like I say, you could use this like to teach people how to do dungeon. So, do. You can see here I'm going from 225 down to like 80. Like that's how many seconds I'm dropping off. Like the timing of this. Like now almost. And it doesn't mean that we can't change them later. But this way we're going to get a lot shorter and smoother run. So we can evaluate if anything needs to be longer or shorter. The other thing too is on this run, so we get a quick look at it. We're going to determine if the flight path is optimal.
Who are you?
I have no idea. How you doing? How you doing, Big Worm? Hold on. Who am I is definitely the question. Before. Wait. Big question of life itself, true. How you been? Things been going well for you? Been busy with a new job? Well, that's good. I mean, I hope that's good. I hope you're happy. I guess it is. Yeah. I mean, well, it's not good to be busy for the sake of being just busy, but it's, obviously a change. But if it's a good change, and you're happy doing what you're doing, that's always. If it's just a job, and then, even if you liked it better than the last job you had, that's also. What do we got here? We're almost done there, people. We're going from 1,000 down to 168. So let's see here. So we're gonna see at the end because we're gonna hit play on this thing, and then we're gonna decide whether we like it or not. And if we do like it, what any changes we need to be made. A lot of chaos integrated in the way they're doing things. We need to polish them off with that. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. So yesterday I wasn't streaming because I was getting I guess retrained on like the election process. Not that they've changed how somebody gets elected or anything, but because normally elections are every between 2 to 4 years. They assume people forget how they did whatever their job was the last time. Plus, they also, there may be changes, and in this case, obviously, there's going to be changes because COVID. So stuff is a little bit different. But it's amazing to me how much stuff we're talking about the last time. The ways the polls are done can vary from election to election. Not in Canada. In Canada, they are not. There are slight differences between like provincial and federal in the way it's done, because provincial is in the transition between going from like 100% paper ballots to electronic ballots, and not electronic ballots the way some of the electronic ones are in the States. It's a different thing. It's more like electronic counting, right? That's different. Like Well, federally, they're just straight, like traditional mark your ballot. So, but like how, like it's the procedure, like, so functionally there's some differences between federal and provincial, depending on which, you know, province you're in. But I mean, like fundamentally, they all follow the same procedures. It's the tools that are different. And that's what's frustrating a little bit, is that some of the tools, not the tools, but the systems are outdated, like in some cases. And, you know, it became a little bit obvious, and they haven't changed it between maybe 212, right? They haven't changed it despite the fact that, like, they've literally eliminated a job. Like, so before you would have like a deputy returning officer. Deputy returning officer is the one that looks at the ID, validates that you are who you are, and then issues you a ballot to go vote. And then, you know, sends you to the ballot box, come back, validates it's the same ballot that he gave you, and then, you know, allows you to place the, you know, allows the person to place the ballot in the box. And then you had a pollster, and a pollster, once the returning officer has validated this person's thing, they now mark down in the poll books that, hey, this person came in and voted, and then strikes them off the list of people that, you know, were eligible to vote, right? Because they've now come in and voted, and they're, you know, they're now recorded as being having voted. They can't vote again. They eliminated that job, and then basically put all that work on the one thing. But one of the reasons why there was two people doing it was because it was basically a check on the other person, because you would take audits between the two people to ensure that the amount of votes issued by the DRO were the same as the amount of people that actually supposedly voted, right? And then that would actually, you know what I'm saying? And so you've taken it, like, why add the stuff together when you've essentially eliminated, you know, a check, right? Like, I mean, you're running a check on yourself. Right? I mean, you can fight, you know, you see what I'm saying, right? But anyway, the check and balance, and now it's gone, but then it's still there. All right, so 224, 230, no, 28, 38, 228. Come on. We're at the last one here. 232. So 2,000 down to 232. We're going to now hit that save button. And then we're going to hit the back at the top here. And that's going to take us back to like our first placement of the first camera. So we're going to enjoy this now. We're going to shut off the camera path editor. And we're just going to watch, right? We're going to see what we made and decide what we want to do out of that. Here we go. So what we're looking for here is that the path is relatively clean. We're getting some good visuals on stuff, and that you know, we're not running into any buildings or rocks or stuff. That's basically what we want to see. Oh, we missed the skull at the top there, right on the left-hand side. By the path that we took. Maybe we want to find a way to put that in there. Remember that we want to put that. We want to maybe get that skull in there, right? Because a lot of people, you know, you don't notice, right? When you're running through there, you're focused on the ground. You don't notice some of these details. So it might be interesting to include it. Other than that, this is looking pretty clean, I'm not gonna lie. Right, it's movie making time, Tuck. Thanks. It's definitely Century Fox bad.
Have you ever had a dream that you had you could
Yeah, exactly. All right, so there's a little bit of jerkiness, I'm not gonna lie, in some of this stuff here, but I mean, you know, this is pretty good for a first pass, right? What do you guys think? It looks good, all right? It looks generally, like I said, there's a little bit of jerkiness and some stuff, but a little pause, but it's not bad. Oh, there's something. Oh, we did. Oh, do you boo? Oh, another one there. Oh, right at the end. Fuck. All right. Lit warning. That's right. Well, we had to put some in there, right? All right. So we're going to go back to the beginning. So one of the things that, you know, you can do that just adds a little bit of oomph to this, just a little bit of oomph. It's not a huge production thing, but adds a little bit of oomph. Turn on the camera path editor. Turn off transparent. Is we'll wait. We remember we want to add a little bit of that skull if we can find a way to add a skull in, add like a shot covering the skull. But we also want like it to be like a little bit more. We're gonna get F2 to get into free camera mode. Okay. So one of the things is we can look at the direction the way our camera is going to go, and what we can do is, so this one here, it's going to go straight away, and then it's going to start going up. But what we're going to do is we're going to turn the camera. We're going to go from here. You can't see it on. Go back to live. This one here. We're going to change it from like there's an edit type here, camera and edit mode, translate or rotate. We're going to go to rotate. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go to the blue bar on it. And then we're just going to slightly rotate it, the camera in the direction that we're going. Right? So this is like a little trick that I learned. So these ones are going to straighten out. We're going to go up. And it's going to straight up. But this one, we know that it's going to start curving and it goes down the bottom. What I think I want to do is I want to start the curve a little bit here early before the actual camera starts. And we'll go down to the next one. And we'll have a slight curve on it as well. And then we're going to go really heavy on this one here. So this next camera, we're gonna go really heavy on the curve. I'm also looking at where it's pointing. Is that gonna be all right? Yeah, I guess so. So maybe we should up the curve a little bit on. So you can see I'm just free flowing around. We'll just a little bit heavier on that curve there. And then this one here, we're going to let it straighten out. But what was it kind of weirdly doing? It was kind of pointing. You can see here, this camera point here was kind of weird because when it came through, so we're going to actually change where the direction of this is. So we'll click on this one and we're going to pull it up a little bit where the camera's focusing and a little bit to the right. And then on this next one here, we're going to, where is this one pointing? Over here. So that's okay. But we will have it curved, so it's going to go around out here. Now this one, so this one, we're going to go to the left side now. This is still going to go here, but I wasn't, what is that like in the distance? I don't know that that's something I want in the shot necessarily. So this one, we're going to do a couple things. We're going to like raise this, move the point of focus, and then also add a curve, like a steep like thing, like we're going around tight on that. Then let that sort of work its way. Just have a slight one. Then over. Down. And this one will make a curve going this way. This one going this way. I think we're coming up on the skull now. Like soon. So we're coming up on the skull soon. So we're going to want to look at, is there a way for us to incorporate that in? So we can see it there, right? The skull. You can see that off in the distance there. But when we look at where the camera here is focusing, it's focusing down. So maybe on this one, instead what we do, we're going to do a couple things. We'll go here, change the focus up higher. And like we'll put it right on the skull. Okay. See how that looks when we get in there. So this is okay, I think. We're gonna change the angle on this a little bit like this. You can sort of see it's pointing at the ground too. Maybe we want to bring it up just a bit. And then through here. And this one we're going to make it so deep. Okay. Straightening out, we'll go down. Wait, we missed a camera there? Oh, that's probably okay. So we'll go a little bit here. Alright, we're zipping through here. Light. Alright, here we go. Here was problems. So this was where we got clips right up here. So we're going to move this. So this one we're switching back to translate. We're gonna pull it this way, so now the path's not hitting that one. It's deep into this one though. That's okay. We'll rotate this. Oh, we want to go the other way, I think. And this camera will translate. What I'm doing, you can see, is I'm pulling it in a different position so that until the point where the blue line is no longer getting intersected, like by an object. A little bit further. Then we'll do a rotate on it. And then we'll hit save. All right, let's go back and see what this looks like. Transparent. Run through again. Here we go. Looking pretty good to me so far, like the adjustments that we made on that rotation. Kind of curious what's going to happen when we run into the skull, like that's going to... That was some big, there was some big double adjustment. Coming up here, the skull look, so let's see if we get a good shot up. Well, we got it in this frame, but it wasn't very, it wasn't there for long. What do you guys think? What do you think this is looking like so far? Think we nailed it? Like, think this is it? This is good enough? This might be I mean, for today, this might be, I mean, you could obviously go back and fine tune it some more, but it's looking pretty good to me. It's something to definitely work with today. I think that we can work with this. And we want to show, and we want to do a couple other things. All right, this is for the two, these were the two clip cuts. Yeah, there we go. So this is no. So this is map flyby. So like if we want, we would have to have had like a much larger like demo where we'd actually run through the environment. Because I mean, one of the things is the way the game works is that you have to be within a certain distance before like mobs actually run, right? So you would have to transverse some of this thing, and then in recording it, like we would definitely not start from the back and go forward. You can see here at the end, there's characters there, like on the bottom left, and that's my character, because that's where, you know, I came in, I took a screen, I took a demo, like of the entire area, but I never actually left. Like I was only here for like 10 seconds, right? I only came into the area, was there for 10 seconds, took a thing of it. Now I went through later on, and this is what we're going to do next. So we're happy with this. So we'll go back to the beginning now, and we're going to record this. So having said that, we're switching screen. So I'm going to record this so that I can actually have this. And then use it in a video editor later on in the program. So you're going to have to you're going to have to suffer through this. You have to suffer through this. So we'll have the music still on my mic, so you can still ask me questions. I can still see chat. Just that we're going to be recording this now. So start recording. And away we go. So yeah, like as I can take out my wife. You can cheat a bit. There are where the game draws items, NPC mods a little bigger distance than possible in the options. But I collect frame rates in the single digits when you, yeah. I mean, there's no particular reason, like, you can, like, because I mean, the idea here is you will see how this do that. That this is basically like a backdrop. Now there are ways to cheat it. You're right. Like I've done it plenty of times before, and it's not the frame rate that's really the cost. It's like you're limiting yourself to like to filming in zones or area, like in zones or areas where your character's at, right? Because that's what populates it. Like there has to be characters, like it has to be within your periphery. You have to be aware that it's there. You can up the resolution on this so that you're right, like so like Dirter says, where the distance between like the stuff becoming real or action or you know moving is bigger. But I mean the cost is probably not worth it. So, but like you can see, there's even, I mean, some stuff most people aren't even gonna notice. Like I noticed stuff, like stuff coming in and out of reality, or the way shadows work, and other stuff. Oh, I wish I would have cut that. Doesn't matter. I may not even use this. And you can see that we could have smoothed some of those transitions out. Like some of them it slows down and some of them speeds up. Remember, it's uniform for us all across the distance that we've actually set this up. The idea here is that we've chosen a uniform piece. So the only thing that's now mitigating the difference is like the distance between like each of the camera spots. So if the cameras are close to one another, then it's going to go there. It's going to slow it down so that the gap's still 4 seconds. If the cameras are far apart, it's going to slow them down, or it's going to speed them up so that it can get between them in 4 seconds. So you could go in and you could adjust them to make it more smooth, but it's not worth, in my mind, it's not worth the effort. Because like I say, in this way we're going to build this video out predominantly is so this will run like the length, like in sort of a background sort of piece. The thing that's going to be more key, like for this video more than anything else, will be like the action shots that we're going to have to take, from like the different dungeons that, like the different instances that we're in here, and the, you know, what fight we're going to take when it comes to when we did Pirate King, like Pirate King. So what fight are we going to do in the Pirate King dungeon is one of the questions, right? If we do one or we do two, I don't even remember. Like, I mean, I'll be honest with you, the boss fight on that's so bad, like so poor now. It doesn't last long. I'm not even sure that's the fight we want, even though it's him. All right, there we got it. So we're gonna stop the recording. That's about 3 minutes. Well, almost four minutes. All right, so stop. And we'll switch. So we're gonna go. Let's see. Go here. We can go. We're gonna exit out.